Recently, I got to accomplish one of my earliest goals since I started making content. I finished a Pokemon Nuzlocke co-op series with a friend. Now, for a while, I'd tried to do it with a lot of other people in a pre-recorded way on YouTube, but it never really worked out. I finally struck gold when my buddy CorenGames finally bought a PC and started streaming on Twitch. I approached them with the idea of doing a live-streamed Pokemon Nuzlocke, and they were interested, so we got to work. We planned out everything, all the assets, scheduling, basically any sort of technical thing you could think of, we had to plan out beforehand. Now, the rules for the Nuzlocke themselves were pretty basic, fairly standard. I was kind of lenient on static Pokemon and fossils. You could pretty much just use as many fossils as you wanted. It was fine, I didn't care. My friend hadn't played Pokemon in 10 years. Might as well have some fun. We decided pretty early on that it would be a black and white Nuzlocke since we actually bought it together on release day in 2011 and we played it for hours outside the EB Games in the mall. I hadn't really played the Unova games in a while. Coren hadn't touched the game for close to 10 years. So it was gonna be an interesting time. Now, I like a little bit of chaos in my Pokemon games, and so I really pushed for a randomizer Nuzlocke, basically just making everything completely different to the original game. Coren wasn't so sure, but I convinced them that it would make for a much more fun time on stream. Finally, we decided to make a friendly bet. The loser of the Nuzlocke would buy the winner a game of their choice that we would play together. The game we settled on was Pokemon Legends Arceus. Coren was gonna buy a Switch eventually before the game came out, so it just made sense. We were finally ready to stream, and it was gonna be a ton of fun for the viewers. Yeah, so early on, I really should have realized that maybe randomizing everything was a bad idea. We would both lose entire runs to legendary Pokemon owned by random trainers. I went back to the drawing board, I tweaked everything to make it a little less random and easier for both of us. But I still wanted a little bit of spiciness in my game, and I made it so that starter Pokemon and legendary Pokemon were still completely random, which led us to this.
So we've got Kyurem,
I got my
Kyurem,
what?
Electivire, and Caterpie.
Wait, what was the first one?
It's like the dragon one, Kyurem, Kyurem.
No, you're not. You're fucking joking. Okay, so in Black and White 2, it has more of a vibe. So you know how like when they introduce like the legend, it's like Giratina, same vibe, except like they fuse. But imagine like Dialga and Palkia fused with Giratina in the second in Platinum. That's what happens in Black and White, Black 2 and White 2.
So this is a legendary?
Yes, Kyurem is a legendary. I would go with Kyurem. Now, I could have been a jerk and told them to go for the other two starters, but they literally had pulled a legendary Pokemon of the generation we were playing. How could you pass up Kyurem? So it's safe to say that I was very confident going into this series, as was Coren. We were both very confident that I was gonna win. But now that Coren had Kyurem on their team, there was a new question on the table. Can you win a Pokemon race if your opponent has a legendary Pokemon to start out? It looked like we were about to find out. Now, if you've heard the story of the tortoise and the hare, it really applies well in this situation. I was the hare, confident in my use of saving time, battle strategy, and general Pokemon knowledge. Coren was definitely the tortoise, taking their time to not make any big mistakes. I kept my nicknames for the Pokemon short so that the text would go faster, and Coren tried fitting entire phrases into 10 characters. Tried is the key word here. Our previous attempts also helped us to optimize our time for this new structured run, although I can't say we were always happy about having to repeat the process over and over again. Oh, fuck. And you're already in Castelia City. Frig.
I'm not in the city yet.
You're on the bridge. It's like the same thing, but whatever.
No, this bridge is super long.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Stop lying. You're lying.
Okay, I'm still running.
Okay. At one point, Coren actually managed to luck out and get a fossil from a random field item. So when they made it to Nacrene City, they got a really good Pokemon. No, don't do this to me right now. What did you get?
It's time for some mommy milkers.
No, you gotta be fucking kidding me. No, you're not.
It's time for mommy's milk.
You know, it might just be funnier to not give any context for that last clip. I had optimized my run to the point where I could probably get through the first 3 or 4 cities in Pokemon Black and White in 3 hours, which was very convenient because usually we would stream for about 3 hours. The problem was I would do well up until that point. Once I got past like Nimbasa City, I would run into some random Pokemon with a ridiculous ability that would just destroy my best Pokemon, and then I'd try to reset because I figured that would save me more time. In hindsight, I know that was not maybe the best move, but I knew that outpacing a Kyurem with a really bad team was going to be super tricky, and I needed to use my energy to make it further into the game. As I was going through another attempt at this game, we actually wound up in Driftvale City at the same time. And then this happened.
We're going to see in about 2 seconds if Joe can actually land this wing attack, and he can't, and that's my run. That's fucking horseshit.
I was pissed. I knew that it would be almost impossible to come back from this. After some discussion with Coren, we decided on a new rule. If you're more than a gym badge behind your opponent, you can turn off battle animations. Because of how long it would take me to catch back up, Coren still had lots of time to train and make it through the second half of Black and White. So this new role was essentially to see if I could cheese my way through the game well enough to come back and win. My next run started off a bit clunky. I had a Weavile to start, and then I lost my Weavile. At that point though, I still had a pretty solid team, and I even managed to get a random lucky egg from a field item. So I was just switch training and getting all that beefy experience. As I was training, one Pokemon really came out as my new ace. Sandile with Moxie and a really great nature for the attack stat. Little by little, I built my team back up, and we were plowing through Pinwheel Forest, Castelia City, Nimbasa City, and even Driftvale City. But Coren had finally gotten a solid team of Pokemon: Gorebyss, Frostlass, Blaziken, and of course Kyurem. I just had to be smart about what I was doing. Just relax, take my time, switch train with my 2 lucky eggs. I love Chargestone Cave. And then the Fire Nation attacked. Wait, sorry, that's not even remotely what I wrote on my script. Then disaster struck.
And you are her starter. I remember you, Mr. Luxray. And is that it? That's the ball game. Helps when you have a...
Too much HP to lose. 4 more Moo Milks. Now
I don't know
3.
what to tell you. Okay. So are you not able to fly at all?
I have Fly, but it's on Kyurem.
Yeah, why don't you just use a fly?
Because every single time that it hit me with Kyurem, it did like 100 damage.
What? Okay, so what do you still have? You sacked Frostlass, you have Gorebyss and Larvitar.
It just critted my Blaziken.
Okay.
So that's out.
I would say... Wait, it's like dead?
Yeah.
In the second last gym of the game, Coren ran into a Machamp who demolished everyone on the team and almost killed Kyurem. I didn't want to be joyful, but I did have a fighting chance again. I could do it. I knew Kyurem was really overpowered and Coren wasn't going to lose it in battle, but my team was structured enough that I could make it to the Pokemon League and stay alive long enough to at least see Coren try to fight the Elite Four and lose. I decided to encourage my friend to backtrack and find more Pokemon to round out their team because I'm just so benevolent and wonderful and nice. My actual plan was to train like crazy and have an overpowered team so that I could breeze through the last gyms, Victory Road, and the Pokemon League. Because I had optimized my time, I knew the right strategies, and I had the experience playing Pokemon. But that can only matter so much. I can fight with you. Leave me alone.
Hi, gorgeous. Hello, Tars. Welcome. How are you doing today, love? How's it hanging? How's it going? This is the way I need to go.
This is the way.
Ooh, this is the way. I have like 3 gay right stuff in my room, and she's like, oh, and your husband, Mom, what? I get it. Your mom should be probably used to. Is Vienna pretty gay? That's fun. I like gay.
I'm so fucking stupid. That was the dumbest fucking move I could have ever fucking done. I lost my fucking monkey. That was stupid. I should have predicted high jump kick would hit harder. In a very ironic twist of fate, Bianca's first Pokemon in my last fight was a Scrafty with Moxie. My first Pokemon went down and the attack boost started. By the time I sent out my Crocodile, I knew it was over. I didn't want to admit it, but I knew I lost. The only thing I could really bank on at this point was Coren going for the Elite Four and losing. Coren decided to finally go for the Pokemon League and fight the Elite Four. Now they had a Reuniqueless, a Minccino, and of course Kyurem. This was gonna be it. They were emotionally exhausted from all the Pokemon chaos, and they wanted this to end either way, win or lose. Though there were some close calls, the Elite Four didn't do much to stop the legendary ice monster Kyurem. Coren thought that they had won the run, and we kinda got into a bit of a debate. We never actually established what constituted winning the run, which realistically I should have thought about before we started. I always assumed that in every Pokemon game, you usually fight the Elite Four and then there's a champion you fight, and that's usually the end of the game. However, in Black and White, N beats the champion Alder just before you show up, so technically there is a champion, but there also isn't a champion. Coren's argument was that they beat the Elite Four, so they beat the Pokemon League, and that was the end of their run. My argument was that you have to beat the Elite Four and the champion to actually beat the Pokemon League. Eventually, we settled on this compromise. If Coren lost against N, I'd still buy them whatever DLC comes out for Pokemon Legends, and they would buy both copies of the game. If they won, I pretty much had to put up or shut up and buy everything from Nintendo for both of us. Here it is, the final fight of Pokemon Black and White. I guess technically not, but also no one cares about Getsus, so it's fine. Since I randomized the games to have similar Pokemon in the trainer fights, that meant that N had another legendary Pokemon to replace Reshiram. Coren also got a chance to catch a legendary Pokemon, but it wasn't exactly a perfect match for Zekrom.
Bazaars. All right, what is the encounter?
What is it? Just tell me.
It's a Spinnerack. It's a level 50 Spinnerack.
Get riggedy wrecked.
Well, that's a bit unfortunate, but hey, now they have 4 Pokemon, and it's time to fight N. He sent out a Mewtwo as his Reshiram, so Kyurem obviously came out to play. As the 2 legendaries traded blows, N started to spam full restores on Mewtwo, so Coren hit a Dragon Tail to force switch Pokemon. Slowbro was out next and spammed heavy on the withdraw to boost defense, making it yet another annoyance that needed to be switched out. Another Dragon Tail sent out Empoleon, who actually wasn't too bad. It went down to a few flies and 1 Dragon Tail from Kyurem. N's 4th Pokemon was Magnezone. Initially, everybody thought it would be better to just switch to Reuniqueless so that Kyurem wasn't overextended, but that was just a terrible strategy, complete waste of time and items, so now we're back to Kyurem. Magnezone hit a very heavy mirror shot and took it down to half health, which put Coren at a bit of an impasse. If Kyurem got knocked out here, that would probably be it for the run. Along with their chat, I suggested to Coren that they should send out Minccino. It really wasn't doing anything at this point, and you could just buy some more time to heal up Kyurem. Minccino went down just long enough for Coren to heal Kyurem right back up, and now it was time to try again and take down Magnezone. Kyurem hit a beefy Ice Beam, got the freeze, and then used Dragon Tail to swap Pokemon again. I'll be honest, this is probably the best strategy Coren's ever pulled in a Pokemon game, and it's the reason they won the Nuzlocke. Like, this was beautifully done. Slowbro came back out, but this time it would just spam Amnesia for a nice special defense boost, and then it would use Slack Off, which heals half your health every time you use it. It became a perfect attack wall. No matter what you hit it with, it would just heal or just boost its defense or special defense. It was terrible. After some more discussion, the best idea was just to bring out Reuniqueless and use Psyshock to hit that super effectiveness and hope that it was enough. It took a bit more spam, but Coren took down Slowbro. Then, N sent out Porygon Z, and Reuniqueless was gone from a single Psybeam. It was not looking good at all. Kyurem was back, but even with a fully healed team before the fight, it really didn't have much for power points. Fly proved to be the best strategy, taking down Porygon Z after a few moves. Kyurem leveled up and learned Dragon Pulse. We had to convince Coren it was better than Dragon Rage. I don't know why, but hey, lesson learned, I guess. The nice thing is that in Gen 5, when you learn a new move, you get fully restored power points, which is really nice. Magnezone's back out, but still frozen, so 1 Dragon Pulse and the teams were even, sort of. Since Kyurem didn't have a lot of health left, and it actually couldn't be healed because Magnezone used Embargo, it couldn't heal until after Magnezone fainted. So, much like Minccino, Spinnerack was sent out to buy time and take one for the team. This was it, the final showdown. If Coren lost Kyurem, the game was mine. Mewtwo was at half health, the only other unknown was the final Pokemon. As the legendaries came face to face again, Kyurem finished off Mewtwo with a Dragon Pulse, and sent out his final Pokemon, a Milotic. It tried to spam Aqua Ring, but a few Dragon Pulses and it was over. The winner of my first Pokemon Nuzlocke race was not me. It was close, but Coren managed to do it. They managed to beat the game, and I was proud of my friend. I lost, but honestly, there's really no better way to lose. So there you have it. I'm now responsible for overpaying for a Pokemon game. Lucky me. But the point of this was never just to get a free game. We're both adults with jobs and budgeting skills, I'd like to hope. Buying 2 Switch games, even at higher Canadian prices, isn't exactly the worst thing in the world. What I really wanted was just to make more memories with my friend. Okay, it's gonna get a bit sappy for a second. So Coren and I have known each other for a long time. It's been over 20 years since I said hi to them at kindergarten orientation, which is very odd because I'm actually the more shy person out of the two of us. There's been lots of ups and downs over the years, but we've managed to keep our friendship going, which I think is really nice. When Coren first got a Nintendo DS with Pokemon Pearl, I was super excited. I finally had a close friend who was just as much into the games as I was. We even bought Black and White at the same time on release day together. It was awesome, and playing outside the game store for hours and hours that day is a memory that I'll keep forever. The other reason why I wanted to do this playthrough was because of a bad memory. So, when we were in 9th grade, our whole class year went on a field trip to Toronto. Coren brought their entire DS with the carrying case and everything, because why not, right? It's a new city, maybe we'd find some stores with some video games we could try right then and there. It'd be a good time. During the trip, we went to Niagara Falls for the day, which was pretty fun. We went to this sort of arcade-style restaurant, and when Coren was playing one of the machines, they left their carrying case with all their games and their Nintendo DS right on top of the machine. When we left the restaurant, they realized they left the case on top of the machine. So when they went back a couple minutes later, it was gone. It sucks to even just talk about it right now. Like, I just feel so bad. You know, it's just one of these things. I didn't know how to talk to my friend about it. I didn't know how to make it better. I tried to offer to buy them another Nintendo DS with Pokemon Black, but they just kept refusing. That made sense. It was just a bad memory. I think this trip was also the last time that Coren would have played Pokemon Black and White. So rather than having a crappy memory to associate with these games, I figured we could play it again together and make new memories, ones that are a bit more happy. So that's it. That's the reason why we started this journey in Unova again together. In closing, I just want to say one thing to one of my best friends. Coren, I love you, bud. I hope you had as much fun as I did. And you know what? I am glad that you won. Because next time we do this, I'm going to kick your ass.